The following story has been brought to you by StoriesToInspire.org.
Let me share with you a beautiful story. There was a woman her name was Rebbetzin Schlesinger. Okay, she was the daughter of the great Rabbi Rabbi Yaakov Rosenheim, and she lived at the time in Bnei Brak. In the town, unfortunately, there was a child that had a very difficult time with kleptomania. The child, unfortunately, he would steal everything. Now, kleptomania is not up to a person. It's not like you could decide that you don't want to steal and you'll stop stealing. It's literally a medical condition. It's a mental issue that the person has. You have sometimes people that they could buy the whole store and they're stealing chapstick. Why are they doing it? Some people do it for the thrill. But some people, they can't help themselves. Like they say, the line goes, so they help themselves. And unfortunately, it's a sickness. It's not the person's fault. It's not up to them. It's not like they learn some musar and it gets better. Right? It's not like they buy extra chapstick and then they don't feel the need to steal it. That's just not how it works. Anyway, there was a boy in the town who unfortunately suffered from kleptomania. Everyone blames him. He gets thrown out of school. His parents throw him out of the house. You can imagine where this kid's life is heading in a matter of a couple years. In and out of juvie, probably. 5 years later, he'll be in prison. 10 years later, he'll have a life sentence. Guy's never going to see the light of day. Rebbetzin Schlesinger comes to this guy, this kid, and she says to him, I know things have been very rough. We'd like to invite you to come stay with us, to adopt you into our home. The kid says, I don't know if you know about me. She says, no, I know. The kid comes into the house. Very soon, Rebbetzin Schlesinger realizes that she had no idea the extent of this. If she leaves out the silver candlesticks, gone. If there's any money in the house anywhere, gone. Not only that, he's stealing things all the time, and people either following him home, because that's part of the problem of the kleptomaniac. It's not like they only steal in the middle of the night. They steal on the way out of a store. People would follow him home, see where he lives, come say to the woman, what kind of kid are you raising? What kind of parent are you? Letting your kid run all, not even knowing it's not a kid. What would she do? She wouldn't say it's not my child. She wouldn't say that. She wouldn't tell them. She would take money out of her own pocket and pay for the things he stole. And she would not even go and tell him that someone came and told me that you stole and I paid the money back. Give me the chapstick. Give me the item. Give me the candlesticks. Years and years this boy lived in the house. And the Rebbetzin is walking around, spending most of her day apologizing and paying. All the while giving him encouragement in the home. Anyway, slowly but surely, people's approach to him starts to change. He starts to feel a little bit different, and slowly but surely he starts getting better. He gets help until eventually, Vayihi Hayom, after years in the Rebetzin's home, this kid, Baruch Hashem, no longer has this problem. He's done. He's finished. It's out of his system. He thanks the Rebbetzin as a young man, and he leaves. Years go by. The Rabbanit's daughter, her name was Rebbetzin Turk. She goes to visit a synagogue in London, and people in the synagogue find out that upstairs in the Ezrat Nashim, Rebbetzin Turk is praying upstairs, and as soon as the tefillah is over, she's coming downstairs. There's a man standing there, an elderly man, a chashuv-looking guy. She says, can I help you? He says, I heard that the Rabbanit was here. She says, yeah, I am. He says, are you Rebbetzin Schlesinger's daughter? She says, yes. He says, from Bnei Brak? She says, yes. He says, I'm sure you won't remember me, but years and years and years ago, decades ago, your mother took in a young boy off the streets who was a kleptomaniac. And that child spent enough time in the house, enough time being cared for, enough time where he wasn't yelled at, enough time being told that he was worthwhile, until eventually that child started to believe it about himself. And he says, and today, here I am, built a beautiful family, and in fact, this community that you're in I'm one of the leaders of this community. And everything that I am, and everything that I've achieved, belongs to no one else, no one other than your mother. There's nothing I could do, and there's nothing I could say in this world that would ever be enough to say thank you to her. I see you here. I have the opportunity to say thank you to a member of the family. I'm sure it wasn't easy on the other kids having that kid in the house either. And he apologizes, and he thanks her for saving his life. My friends, El Narifan Alo is not only for cancer. El Narifan Alo is not only for a stroke. It's not only for a heart attack. It's not only for COVID. It's not only for complications in surgery. El Narifan Alo means that a person can be broken from the inside out. But we learn the idea that it's expressed in Chazal. En Adam Chote, a person never sins. Elaim ken, only if nichnas bo ruach shetut, unless a spirit of insanity overcomes him. That's what Chazal teach us. You got to be crazy to sin. And if you could pray for refuah for a person who's nuts, who's crazy, then you could pray for refuah for a person who sins.
Enjoyed this story? Come again. Bring a friend. StoriesToInspire.org